Hello, my friends. There is so much, there's so much going on, not in the world as we see it, but on energetic planes, I would say, or in the expansion of the field that we have been present with for a while. And it is certainly also expanding, not just in ourselves, as we are beginning to just see the structures and the beliefs and the limitations that we have just lived under or as simply unquestioned. This is how it is, that's how we have all lived most of our lives. And then of course we've done our inner work and we start seeing things here and we can start open up more and letting go of things are speeding up really, really fast. You might even notice that, what used to be revealed or changed in a year or 10 years, suddenly, like overnight, something is like completely different, completely different. And of course, it's hard for us to just keep up and, integrate it and digest it because we are also ourselves still living in these contracted states, as is our earth. And as we see it, imploding, exploding, cracking, whatever out there, it's the same that's happening inside of us. So I, I don't want to put out a word of caution, but that sounds like a weird thing to do. But maybe there is something. I just want to really invite us all to to walk with caution in the world as to what is true and what is not true. Every time something is revealed or unveiled or exposed, you may have noticed that right away there's those who believe it and those who have a very good reason to disprove it. So this is something that we've been going through for a while now, and it's it's a fine line to walk to really know what we can trust, who we can believe, what is just a bunch of BS, and what is maybe something that is in unfolding and slowly coming to the surface, but we're not quite sure what it is, whether it's inside of ourselves or outside. And then it's easy to jump to conclusions because that's what we have been programmed to do our whole life and probably many lifetimes if you believe in that. So there is a time of caution right now for all of us to not just buy into anything that anybody says. And I have a feeling that many of you here already know that because there really is not much we can trust or believe anymore. It comes up and then there's this whole reason that it's a lie and it's made up. Uh, you can even make videos now that are computer generated, and that's been going on for a while, but it's coming out more. So you might watch a video and believe it, and then it turns out it was an AI created thing and it was never true. So the caution we need to walk with is that we've really learned to feel inside our body, our felt sense, and start understanding, when something is off and when it's on, when something is resonant and not, when something is coherent and incoherent. This feels to me like the terrain that we're all walking through right now, where you can't just run through and say, yeah, it's this. It's like you just have to move through it and really, really feel inside what it brings up in you. And I have talked a lot about intuition. I think it's a while ago, and you can look at some of them there's a link here. Learning how to listen to your intuition and how to trust it and how to let yourself be guided from that. And we have to remember that as we're learning that, it is still going through a lot of layers that are not attuned to our own intuition. And that's why it's easy to, maybe go a little too far to the right or too far to the left or a little too far up or a little or too slow or too fast because our intuition is still in one way entrapped in the programming of the matrix, in the structures that we have been living as if that is who we are. So, and you can easily make mistakes, when you feel that this is the right thing, and then you find out later like it wasn't, and then you might go like, but can I trust this then? So we are in a time where there is not just one clear answer. But the more we do that, the more we practice listening to our inner voice, to our inner yes or no. Is it an expansion or is it a contraction? Is there a movement towards it or a movement away from it? Or maybe a movement of like, I don't know, it's not clear yet. This is the terrain that we need to live in because this is the new reality we're stepping into when we're stepping out of the matrix, which is all mind-based. It's duality, it's right, wrong, good, bad, healthy, sick, war, peace, right? It's that duality, and that's why we keep flipping. Is it this? Is it that? Is it right? Is it wrong? And it's all the mind. There is a truth and it is inside each of us. And we need to get access to that and really learn to trust it. Um, it really takes time. It's something, it has to be something that we really want to learn. It's like a new language that we have never really paid attention to, although it's always been there in the background. So I really want to invite all of us to be extra alert to our inner guidance and not just jump on anything unless unless it really resonates deep inside. Many times it just resonates up here as like, oh, I want that, and that's exciting, or like, that's so bad, and he's so wrong, and she's so this or that. That's all happening in here. And that is not the answer that we are looking for, because that's all matrix, that's all duality. That's not happening in reality. So, the best way that I can say how to start really learning the language of your soul, of your intuition, is feeling inside. What does a yes feel like? And what does a no feel like? And then in between the yes and the no, there is a space where we may not know yet. So it's like the ABCs of the alphabet. It's like a yes, what does it feel like? A no, what does it feel like? And then I don't know yet. What does that feel like? And can you allow that place that doesn't know yet to just have the time to unfold until there is some kind of a clarity? This is the foundation in my experience. And you may have a very different experience, and I totally appreciate that. I can only share my own experience, as I always say. And as we start practicing that, and I would definitely start practicing it outside of if a big choice you need to make or something. It's just in your life, just a general thing, simple things, do I want to go there? Let me just see because before I override it with, yeah, I should go, everybody else is going, and whatever it is, take a moment and just feel like, do I really want to go there? And you'll know it. You'll know it immediately. I when I sit with my clients and because this is go into our experience, and that's where all the answers come from. Um, when they drop the mind, there's always an immediate knowing of what is true for them. That may not be true for you or for me, but it's true for them at that place in on their journey. So you can never argue with anybody's experience. It is what it is. And we should also not argue with our own experience. And we do, because we have never really learned how to trust it or had permission to trust it, right? Because as children, we always knew. And then when you do some deeper work later in life, just like, yeah, I always knew. I always knew that wasn't true, but they were hiding it. They were um, whatever they were doing, they were lying about it. And then I was very confused. And then it's hard to trust it again. So we need that. We need silence. We need silence. We need mindfulness. We need enough time, spaciousness, so we can go in and explore that and find out what is true for me in this situation. Um, do it with really simple things to start out with. This is our true guidance system. And the crazier it's going to get out there, where there is a tendency to, bring so much fear to our doorstep that we just succumb to that. And that's again when we leave what is true for us. Fear is that is a big one that makes us leave our own truth, because it's like there's consequences if you don't do what I say, if you don't follow what others are doing or what you're demanded to do or whatever it is for you. That's where we leave what is true for us because we are afraid. And, I did this video on what it is called Matrix is the fuel. No, fear is the fuel of the Matrix. And you can watch it here. And that is why it's when we are afraid, it's always a sign that the Matrix, the duality, the mind, the simulation, whatever you want to call it, is coming in. It's always trying to come in. And we have to stand guard and say, no, I want to listen to my deeper truth. I want to connect back with my soul or my essence and let myself be guided from there. So please take this very seriously if you want to be able to just move through life with more ease and more grace, because you are flowing with your own. It doesn't mean it's always easy, because we are always running up against people who are not listening here, they're listening there, and they're doing that out of fear. So if you suddenly show up and you go like, no, this is not my truth, then they will try and talk you into what they believe you should believe. And they may say, I can't even believe that you believe that or that you don't do that. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's not my truth. And that's when you are really solid in yourself, where the outer suggestions and fear tactics and whatever it is, they don't really touch you anymore, because you have grounded enough in your own guiding system. And start with a yes and a no. And then you might start feeling like I always feels these deep, energetic, like a shower or something when something is right, something is true. It comes with this thing. It's like, okay, that was a great confirmation. Thank you. And so we have our own ways, and it's not the same for all of us. That's why we need to go in and really get to know our own language from the soul, from the inside out. This will be very, very handy as we keep walking through this world as things get crazier by the day. But we are moving towards, a bigger light. It's not very visible for most people yet. It's something that many of us feel here, that whatever's happening there, yeah, it's all collapsing. And the light that we're all connecting more with, that is because the light is shining. So all these things are collapsing, and we need to stay with the light. We need to stay with our own light. Let it shine, keep it shining, shine it with other like-hearted friends or souls or beings. And we just keep following the deeper truth inside of us as we let, things just fall wherever they need to fall so that the new earth can keep manifesting in our experience, which is coming from here and not from here. So, my friends, see where that lands for you. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to join tomorrow, Tuesday, July 1st, I have my next online monthly gathering, and the link will be in the description. And if you need help with any of this, really getting in touch with your intuition, getting some reflection, some mirroring back, having somebody else maybe help you connect with yourself in a way that you may not be able to. And I think we all need that at some point in our lives, maybe many times. Please reach out for a self-discovery session with me, and then we'll see, if you want to work with me some more. Have a blessed day.